27th of January 2025. And we're discussing our Raya Ramananda samvada, and we've come to the most ecstatic place of how to access that supreme sadhya. So we covered the sadhya already, this prem, vilas, vivart, and we discussed that a little bit, something. But now we're discussing the abhideya, the method to achieve that. This was Mahaprabhu's question. So we'll have a kirtan, and my dear friend, Sri Bilbamangala Thakur Prabhu, he'll sing again. But I want to read the translation. He's going to sing the kirtan, Palya Dashi Kori. This is by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur in the songbook. It's on page 115, if you want to sing along. So I want to read the translation first. When will the beautiful Lalita, upon making me a Palyadasi, who is described as an affectionately sheltered maidservant, place me at the lotus feet of Sri Radhika and give me seva under her guidance? When will I go to Sri Rupa Manjari to receive instruction on ras-filled service? Under her guidance, I shall joyfully remain on the banks of Radha Kund, Sri Radha Kund. At the lotus feet of Sri Vishaka, I shall learn music abounding with the nectar of Krishna's pastimes. Sri Rati Manjari, Sri Rasa Manjari, and others will be very compassionate to me. In supreme bliss, we will all be together at the lotus feet of Sri Radhika. Oh, when shall I achieve this topmost perfection and receive the honey of Sri Radha's lotus feet? Okay, we'll sing this together now.
Yes. Dandavat pranams to Bhaktivedanta Tridandi Maharaj, and Dandavat pranams to all the assembled Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis. So today we will begin by singing this beautiful bhajan, Palya Dasi Kori. Palya Dasi Kori, Lalita Sundari, Amare Loiya Kabe. Palya Dasi Kori, Lalita Sundari, Amare Loiya Kabe. Shri Radhika Pade, Kale Milai Be. Shri Radhika Pade, Kale Milai Be. Ajna Seva Samati Be, Ajna Seva Samati Be. Palya Dasi Kori, Lalita Sundari, Amare Loiya Kabe. Sri Rupa Manjari Sange Jabo Kabe, Rasa Seva Shikshatare. Sri Rupa Manjari Sange Jabo Kabe, Rasa Seva Shikshatare. Tadanuga hoye Radha Kunda Tate, Tadanuga hoye Radha Kunda Tate, Rohibo Harshitanantare, Rohibo Harshitanantare. Palya Dasi Kori, Lalita Sundari, Amare Loiba Kabe. Shri Vishakapade, Shri Vishakapade, Vishakapade, Sangita Sikibo, Krishna Leela Rasamoy. Shri Vishakapade, Sangita Sikibo, Leela Rasamoy. Shri Rati Manjari, Shri Rasa Manjari, Shri Rati Manjari, Shri Rasa Manjari, Hoi bo sabe sada hoi be sabe sada hoi, Balya dasi kori, Lalita Sundari, Amare loiya kabe, Parama Anande Sakale Miliya, Radhika Charana Rabo, Parama Anande Sakale Miliya, Radhika Charane Rabo, Ye Parakashta Siddhika Behabe, Ye Parakashta Siddhika Behabe, Paborada Pada Saba, Paborada Pada Saba, Palya Dasi Kori, Lalita Sundari, Amare loiya kabe. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Jaya Radha, Madan Mohan Radha, Madan Mohan Radhe, Jaya Radha Vinod Bihari, Radha Vinod Bihari Radhe, Jaya Jagannatha, Jaya Baladeva, Jaya Subhadra Devi, Jaya Sudarshana, Jaya Jagannatha, Jaya Baladeva, Subhadra Devi, Jaya Sudarshana, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Gurudev Gurudev, Gurudev, Gurudev. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Guru Parampara, Guru Parampara, Parampara, Guru Parampara, Guru Parampara, Guru Parampara, Parampara, Guru Parampara.
Jai Shri Guru Garanga Ganhapika Giridhari Radha Madan Mohan Ju Ki Jai. Sachinandana Gaura Hari Ki Jai. Nityananda Rai Ki Jai. Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Sudarshan Chakra Ki Jai. Jai Nitya Lila Pravishta Om Asto Tarasara Shishimad Srila Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Nitya Lila Pravishta Om Asto Tarasara Shishimad Srila Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai Nitya Lila Pravishta Om Asto Tarasara Shishimad Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Jagat Guru Nitya Lila Pravishta Om Asto Tarzar Shishimad Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai Paramahamsa Mahabhagavat Srila Gaurikishore Das Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Saptam Goswami Srila Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur Ki Jai. Jai Vaishnav Sabhabhoma Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Srila Baladevi Dibhushan Gaudi Bharantaracharya Ki Jai. Jai Srila Vishnath Chakravarti Thakur Ki Jai. Jai Narottam Srinivas Shyamananda Prabhu Traya Ki Jai. Srila Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami Ki Jai. Shri Rup Sanatan Shri Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jiva Gopal Bhatta Dasa Raghunath Sat Goswami Prabhu's Ki Jai. Jai Swarup Damodar Raya Ramananda Gauda Parasada Ki Jai. Arupa Nuga Guru Varga Ki Jai. Ananta Kota Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Gauda Premanandi Hari Hari Bol. Agyantimirandasya Gyananjala Shalakaya Chakshu Unmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Gurave Gauda Chandraya Radhikaya Tadale Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tarabhaktaya Namo Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Shtapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kathamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Priya Swarupe Daita Sarupe Prema Sarupe Sahaja Virupe Nijana Rupe Prabhueka Rupe Tatana Rupe Svavila Sarupe Anapita Chirim Chirat Kurunaivar Tinokalo Samarpaitam Unnata Ujvala Rasam Swabhakti Shriyam Hari Purata Sundara Tutikatamba Sadipita Sadahridare Gandhare Spuratu Vasachinandanaha Yam Pravajantamanapetyam Apeti Krityam Dvaipaino Viraha Katara Ajuhava Putre Titam Vayatayo Taravo Vinidustam Sarvabhutam Hridim Munimanatoshmi Bhaktya Vihina Aparada Lakshay Shiptascha Karmadi Tarangamadye Kripa Maitvam Sharanam Prapana Brinde Namaste Charanarabindam Bhajami Radham Aravinda Netram Smarami Radham Madhurashmitasyam Vadami Radham Karuna Bharadram Tato Mamanasti Katina Kapi Tavaivasmi Najivami Tvaivina Iti Vignaya Radhe Tvam Nayamam Charanantikam. I'm first of all offering millions of Vedanta pranams unto the lotus feet of my beloved Gurudev, Nitya Lila Pravishta Om Asto Tarasar Shishimad Srila Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj. And the same again, millions of times unto the lotus feet of our beloved Nitya Lila Pravishta Om Asto Tarasar Shishimad Srila Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. And again, I'm offering my Dandavat pranams unto the lotus feet of our dearmost Srila Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami Pad, and all our Rupanuga Guru Varg, and all the Vaishnava and Vaishnava devotees of the Lord, my Dandavat pranams to all of you. Vancha kalpa tarubhyascha kripa sindhavyevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. So, thank you, Bilvamangala, for that very sweet kirtan. So, we're coming to page 186 So, as we've described a number of times, Mahaprabhu's mercy is overflowing in this remarkable samvad, between this conversation between Ramananda Rai and Mahaprabhu is waking up his Sakhi Bhav. He's waking this up for us, for our sake. So he's coming from the very beginning, Varnashram, then Nishkarm Karma Yoga, Sharanagat, Gyan Mishra Bhakti, Gyan Shunya Bhakti, walking through these steps, Prema Bhakti in Shantaras, then Dasya, Sakya, Vatsalya, then Madhurya or Kanta Prem, and then Radha's Prem for Krishna. That's when it's going to really open up deeply. Then after that, Mahaprabhu is requesting Krishna Tattva, then Radha Tattva, erecting the pillars for Prem Tattva, which will be discussed after that. And then this Vilas Tattva, where the sadhya is held. What is the sweetest essence of Radha and Krishna's relationship? And it's describing how Srimati Radhika becomes so bewildered, this vivart. She becomes in illusion. She thinks that the Tamaltari is Krishna. She runs for him to embrace that Tamaltari. She sees a peacock feather and she faints. Krishna is astonished when he sees her love for him. This is what is attracting Krishna to her, when he sees the immensity of her love for him. This melts his heart entirely. But now we come to the most remarkable section, the remarkable part, where Mahaprabhu is asking for. Mahaprabhu accepts, yes, this is a sadhya. You can't go more than this. He even covers Raya Ramananda's mouth, not to put such confidential topics out into the ether. At the same time, to protect the sacredness of this topic. But now he's asking, now what is the sadhya for the sadhak? Now he's coming, he's tasted this for himself. He wants that Sakhi Bhav to manifest. Simultaneously, just like we have the verse, Prem Ras Niryase Korite Ashvada. Mahaprabhu has come to taste his own prem. That's the first reason why he's come here. And the second reason, Rag Mag Bhakti Loke Karite Prachan. He's come to give this Rag Mag to the conditioned jivas of this world. So now he's reached the highest in the Prem Vilas Vivart. But now for our sake, he's coming into what is the method, what is the abhideya for the sadhak to attain this. And this is very, very beautiful, because only the Sakhis hold the key to the door, the entranceway into this service to Radha and Krishna. It must go through the Sakhis. There is no other way, no other way, no other way. It has to come through the Sakhis. Exactly like we've described before in Jaipadama. It's mentioning straight away Lalita Sakhi and then Ananga Manjari in the first chapter. This is substantiated, this is put down. So now we've come to this incredible chapter, which is the most beautiful for the sadhak to appreciate the seva to the Sakhis. And in order to perform this seva, we must appreciate the height of the Sakhis' prem. The Sakhis are giving everything for Radha and Krishna's happiness and satisfaction. They want nothing for themselves. This is the highest conception of prem, love. Nothing for themselves whatsoever. So this is what we're discussing, the under guidance of the Sakhis. So we've come to page 186, and yesterday, or on Saturday, we spoke this beautiful Govinda Lilamrita verse, and I'll read the translation again, and then we'll get into this more deeply. So Sri Radha Krishna's bhavs are self-manifest, unlimited, and composed of complete ecstasy. The bhavs between Radha and Krishna, that Unnata Ujjala Prem, is unlimited, self-manifest. Even so, not even one iota of ras can be experienced without the Sakhis. Just as Ishvara, the supreme controller, is never manifested without his spiritual potencies or opulences. It must be there. Therefore, what knower of Ras will try to enter these pastimes without taking the shelter and guidance of the lotus feet of the Sakhis? This is the heart of our sadhana, to take the lotus feet of the Sakhi. Under Lalita Sakhi, Vishaka Sakhi are the Manjaris. And the Manjaris are those who are carrying this jewel into the world. All this mood of the Manjaris is our line. So Mahaprabhu is igniting this line in the heart of Rupa and Sanatan, who will in turn enlighten Jiva Goswami, Srila Krishna's Kaviraj, etc., Narottam, Srinivas, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. All these personalities will carry this same message of anugatya of the Sakhis. They themselves are Manjaris. They are giving this opportunity for the conditioned Jiva to serve in the way of the Manjaris. This is what they are giving. Therefore, what knower of Ras will try to enter these pastimes without taking the shelter and guidance of the lotus feet of the Sakhis? So my Gurudev's commentary. The bhavs of Sri Radha and Krishna are exceedingly full of happiness indeed. They are the very embodiment of the highest form of joy. A sadhak of transcendental amorous love who is filled with this prem can automatically savor the sweetness of this ras. By this sweetness, he also is able to experience great happiness when he's serving that sweetness. Just as a person automatically tastes the sweetness of sugar candy by keeping it within his mouth. When we're contemplating these topics, thinking about them, rolling them around in our consciousnesses, there's going to be tremendous sweetness for the sadhak to experience. However, without the grace of the Sakhis, the prem of Sri Radha and Krishna cannot reach its fullest state of blissful completeness. Only the Sakhis hold that key. These next few pages will be describing this in detail. So appreciate this sadhya, so to speak, the goal of where we're going, and wait for the entire topic to be unpacked, which it's going to be in the next few pages. It'll become very clear. The question may arise, someone may ask, if this is so, that worshipping Radha and Krishna through the Sakhis is saying, then what is the necessity of mentioning the self-manifesting and unlimited nature of the love of Sri Radha and Krishna? Why should we hear about that love if it's through the Sakhis that we're going to actually be able to serve that love? Swarup Shakti is unlimited. Just as Krishna is unlimited, his Swarup, his energy, his Shakti is unlimited. She is also completely spiritual, Brahmvastu, and her special play is prem. This is what's going to please Krishna. Or bhakti. If prem or bhakti were not in fact unlimited, then how could she have brought the complete spiritual entity, Bhagavan, under her control? She has to be so immensely potent to bring that supreme entity, Bhagavan, under her control. The Shrutis say, Bhaktiya eva garisi, gariyasi. Bhakti is indeed glorious. And Bhakti Vashaha, Purushaha, Supreme is controlled by Bhakti. He's controlled by this profound savor, selfless savor. The ocean, this is so wonderful for the jivas to hear, because in this material conception, this bhakti is not manifesting, is not apparent for the jiva. The jiva has to connect with that person who has bhakti. Bhakti sanjate bhaktya. Bhakti comes from bhakti. So we have to connect with that to appreciate the nature of bhakti. But the material world is devoid of this bhakti. The ocean is an immeasurable body of water, and by the force of the wind, waves rise up, making it appear as if the ocean is leaping. Similarly, even though the oceanic prem of Sri Radha and Krishna is self-manifesting, still it is supported and nourished by the assistance of the wave-like Sakhis. The Sakhis are making all the arrangements for Radha and Krishna to meet. Radharani is so attached to her Sakhis. Krishna also is attached to Radharani. So all the Sakhis are manifesting ultimately from Sri Radhika to bring pleasure to Krishna. In the axiom about the love of Sri Radha and Krishna, the Sakhi's glories are extraordinary. Despite himself being the unlimited, omnipresent, and self-manifesting supreme controller, his quality of being the controller is even further enhanced by the assistance of Chitta Shakti. He becomes more the entire controller through his Shakti. Similarly, Shringara Ras is even more deeply nurtured by the ministration of the Sakhis. The Sakhis arrange everything. Prem and the Sakhis are not separate entities. In my book, I've underlined that sentence. Prem and the Sakhis are not separate entities. Indeed, the development of Prem hinges on their participation. For Krishna to really find the highest bliss, it's actually in the Ras Leela. It's a festival, and a festival means many, many people, not just two, not just Radha and Krishna. So the festival of love, this Ras Leela, is where Radha and Krishna experience the highest ecstasies. The Sakhis are Prem Swarupini, meaning that they are composed of Prem, and they are also embodiments of Prem, as well as expansions of the bliss potency, Ladini Shakti. They're all manifesting from Sri Radhika. We have to appreciate this deeply. Okay.
8, 206 to 209.
So it's actually 207.
7 to 10.
10.
Sakira Swabhavika Akatya Katana Krishna Saha Nija Leela Nahi Sakiraman Krishna Saha Radhikara Leela Ye Karai Nija Sukha Haite Tate Koti Sukha Pai Radhara Swarupa Krishna Prema Kalpalata Sakhi Gana Hai Tar Pallava Pushpa Pata Krishna Leela Amrita Yadi Lata Ke Sinchaya Nija Sukha Haite Pallavadyera Koti Sukha Hai.
The nature of the Sakhis is unparalleled and indescribable. Never does the thought of finding their own happiness in an intimate meeting with Krishna even appear in their minds. The happiness they experience by arranging the solitary meetings of Sri Radha and Krishna, they accept as being millions of times greater than what they would experience by being with Krishna directly. Sri Radha is likened to the truly personified form of the wish-fulfilling vine of Prem for Sri Krishna, and the various Sakhis are the leaves, twigs, and flowers that take shelter of this desire-fulfilling creeper. By sprinkling the creeper with the nectar of Sri Krishna's pastimes, the sprouts, flowers, and leaves become happier than if someone sprinkles them directly. So we might think, from reading many other Shastras, how the gopis are, like Chandravali, for example, trying to hijack Krishna. Are they thinking of their own happiness more than the happiness of Radha and Krishna? Actually not. Radhika is inspiring that love in the heart of Chandravali, ultimately for Krishna. It's coming from her. Chandravali is Radhika's Kaya Vyuha. Radhika is inspiring the heart of Krishna to consort with Chandravali. For Leela, how can Srimati Radhika go into this state of Kandita, this heroine, this angry heroine? Or Kala Hantarika, how can she become so angry as to put Krishna out of the Kunj, unless Chandravali has been there to capture Krishna. How can that manifest? How can Man manifest without such personalities as Chandravali? And if there are other gopis, they're also inspired by Sri Radhika. And Radhika will inspire the heart of Krishna to be this is what we're going to hear. So this question may come while we're hearing this. But it's all being inspired by Radhika. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur confirms that Sri Radha is the transcendental, wish-fulfilling vine of Krishna Prem, and all the various Sakhis are its leaves, buds, and flowers. When this vine in the form of Sri Radha is watered, then the flowers and buds who have taken shelter of the vine are automatically nurtured. In the same way, the gopis do not directly enjoy the happiness of meeting with Sri Krishna. Rather, by arranging Sri Radha's meeting with Sri Krishna, they become joyful. The Sakhis themselves take great pleasure when Radha and Krishna are uniting together. They are the power source, we can say. And from them, all the Sakhis are manifesting. But for us to take this seva to Radha and Krishna, it must be through the Sakhi's mercy. Okay, Bill.
8 to 11. Sakya Shri Radhikaya Vraja Kumuda Vidor Hiladini Nama Shakte Saramsha Prema Valya Kishalaya Dala Pushpadi Tulya Swatulyaha Shiktaya Krishna Leelamrita Rasa Nishchayer Ullasantyam Amushyam Jatollasam Swasakya Chatagunam Adikam Shanti Yattanna Chitram.
Govinda Lilamrita 10:16. The Sakhis of Braj are similar to Sri Radha. They are the essential parts of Braj Kumuda Chandra, Chandra's Hladini, or pleasure potency known as Radhika, who is the personification of his internal energy. She is the wish-fulfilling creeper of Prem, and the other gopis are like the vines, buds, leaves, and flowers. The beauty of that vine are in the flowers and buds. When the nectar of Krishna's pastimes is showered on the supremely blissful Sri Radhika, all the gopis experience the pleasure 100 times more than if they were showered themselves. So all the gopis, principally, they are constituted of the Shakti manifesting from Sri Radhika. So they all want to bring pleasure to Krishna. So by serving the divine couple and uniting them, this will bring them the greatest pleasure. This is not at all surprising. Braja Kumud Vido. Here it refers to none other than Sri Krishna, who is just like the moon for the lotus-like gopis of Braj. The word Vidho is given the possessive case, Shasti, sixth conjunction, indicating a relationship. Here, Vidho indicates Sri Krishna's energy, known as Hladini. The Sakhis are his energy, as is Radhika. This is confirmed by use of the words Prem Valari, a creeper of love, which signify the essential principle of this Hladini Shakti. The Shasti is again used for the noun Sakya Shri Radhikaya, with reference to the Sakhis of Srimati Radhika. The phrase Kishalaya Dala Pushpadi Tulaya describes the gopis, who are likened to new leaves, sprouts, and flowers. Here, Swatulya refers to those gopis who look like Sri Radhika and who are her non-different expansions, her Kaya Vyuha Swarup. This goes for all of the gopis. Just as the night lotus blossoms naturally upon the rising of the moon. Similarly, the residents of Braj, who are like the night lotuses, naturally blossom once they obtain darshan of the moon of Braj, Sri Krishna. Of all the Brijvasis, the gopis especially become pleased. Thus, Sri Krishna has been called Raja Kamud Vidu, or the moon of the lotuses of Braj. A moon brings out the blossoming nature of the flowers and trees, etc. The essence of Sri Krishna's internal potency or pleasure potency is prem, and the vine of this prem is Sri Vrishabhanu Nandini herself, Sri Radha. The various gopis are the newly blossomed sprouts, flowers and leaves of this vine. These Sakis are the beauty of the wish-fulfilling vine of prem, Sri Radha. Her happiness indeed constitutes the happiness of the gopis. Just like we water a vine and the leaves and flowers are nourished by that watering to the main root of the vine. But this is the same as the verse when we say this, Unnata Ujvala Ras Sva Bhakti Shriyam. This is saying that Mahaprabhu, he's tasting that Unnata Ujvala Ras. But what is he actually giving? He's giving that Swa Bhakti. Swa means own, Krishna's own Bhakti, who is Radhika. Swa Bhakti, Shriyam, the beauty of her Bhakti. So the beauty of the vine is in the flowers and ultimately the manjaris. That is the beauty of Sri Radhika. Her happiness indeed constitutes the happiness of these gopis. If water is supplied to the actual root of the vine, then all the flowers, leaves and twigs are also nourished. There is no need to water each part separately. There's no need to try to make a relationship with Krishna separately. If we worship Sri Radhika, if we serve internally under her desire, that will nourish Krishna the most. No need to water each part separately. In a similar manner, all the other gopis who are compared to the leaves, sprouts and flowers automatically reap supreme satisfaction from Sri Radha's happiness.
8 to 11 to 14. Yadyapi Sakira Krishna Sangame Nahi Man Tatapi Radhikaya Yatne Karana Sangama Nana Chale Krishne Preri Sangama Karaya Atma Sukha Sangha Haite Koti Sukha Paya Anyonya Vishuddha Preme Kare Rasa Pushta Tan Sabhar Prema Deki Krishna Hai Tushta Sahaja Gopira Prem Nahe Prakrita Kama Kama Krida Samyetar Kahi Kama Nama.
Although the Sakis do not possess even the slightest desire to enjoy themselves with Sri Krishna directly, still Radhika makes an active effort that enables them to meet with him. This is what we were just saying. She makes an active effort for the other Sakis to meet with him privately. She sends the gopis to Krishna, employing a great variety of clever ruses, as well as inspiring his heart with a desire to meet them. So not only sending them, but inspiring Krishna's heart to meet with them. At such times, she enjoys a happiness 10 million times greater than the happiness she experiences when directly meeting with him. So this is wonderful to appreciate. Since the internal consciousness of Sri Radhika and the gopis is pervaded by Vishuddha Sattva, or pure spiritual existence, Srimati Radhika always remains engaged in continuously bestowing happiness upon the gopis, and vice versa. It's a complete team, we can say. It's all Shakti Tattva. It's all Shakti itself. The quintessence, the height of that Shakti is Sri Radhika. But all the other portions of that Shakti are her Sakis. Srimati Radhika always remains in, they are ever absorbed in nourishing or expanding sentiments of ras. Upon seeing their mutual exchanges, Sri Krishna becomes most satisfied. The prema of the gopis is completely natural. There is not even the slightest scent of profane lust within them, because they don't want for themselves, they're imbued with this desire for Krishna's happiness, his pleasure alone. Due to its resembling mundane, lusty affairs, the prema is often called calm or lust, because we can relate to that. We start there and then we purify this lust within the heart of the sadhaks. That has to be purified to come to the same mood as the selfless gopis. Even though the calm of the gopis and the calm of this material world bear a resemblance to each other, factually the difference between them is like that between heaven and hell. In this apricot calm or transcendental non-material lust, there is not even a trace of desire for one's own happiness. Rather, the sole desire is an abiding, continuous thirst to bestow happiness upon one's beloved. This is so much satisfying, to bring happiness to one's beloved. Thus, this calm is Vishuddha, transcendentally pure prema. The calm of the material world is self-centered, performed for one's own enjoyment, insignificant, detestable, and the path to hell. So we have to change track from our enjoying material tendencies to just relishing the topics of the spiritual world. This is going to bring the biggest purification to the consciousness. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur says that Sri Radhika engages the Sakhis in the service of Sri Krishna, and the Sakhis find happiness in arranging for her to meet with him. So it's reciprocal. The Sakhis are arranging for Radha, and Radha is arranging for them. Just like we have the pastime when Radhika leaves the Ras Leela, then she's thinking about her Sakhis and they catch up with her. People devoid of ras or intelligence say that Sri Radha and the gopis desire to meet with Sri Krishna. Is this a form of material lust in which they are seeking their own enjoyment or not? Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, no, it is not. Factually, intimately meeting with Sri Krishna or arranging for Sri Krishna to meet with others is performed only out of love for him. Seeing Sri Krishna's pleasure, the gopis also feel happiness, and they think that their lives have become successful, being engaged in his service. The people of this material world cannot conceive of even a shadow of this prema, what to speak of to approach it. Thus, due to their polluted tendencies, people see this completely pure and sacred prema in the same as insignificant, profane lust. So this point has to be cleared in the heart. What are we talking about here? We're being given entrance into a window into the transcendental reality, and we have to leave behind our material baggage, including this material desire to enjoy matter. That has to be totally purified. This is all part of our sadhana.
Okay. 8215 Premaiva Gopa Ramanam Kama it agamat pratam it uddhava vadayo pya etam vanchanti bhagavat priyaha.
That's Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 1, 2, 285, 286. The prema of the beautiful maidens of Braj is known as calm or lust. However, by constitution, that prema has no mundane lust in it, in its makeup. It is for this reason that Uddhav and other devotees of the Lord also desire this prema. Uddhav is the most respected personality in all of Mathura and Dwarka. Totally respected. All the rishis and sadhus, they're all completely respectable personalities. And they are dwelling on these pastimes between Radha and Krishna. if there was some trace of material lust there, that wouldn't be shastric, that wouldn't be their path. Just like we've described about Parakya Ras. So many exalted, the most exalted chaste ladies of the universe are honoring Sri Radhika. They're serving her. And how can that Parakya Ras be abominable, have anything to do with the material abomination of a man seeking relationship with someone else's wife in this world? So it has nothing to do with that, because such respectable people are following this path. Although both iron and gold are categorized as metals, there is an enormous difference between them. Likewise, both material lust, calm, and the pure love, prem, appear somewhat similar, but they are in fact totally distinct. Lust is a function of the illusory potency known as Maya, while prem is a function of the all-spiritual Swarup Shakti. Sri Bhaktivinoda Thakur further says that there are various alluring desires presented in the Vedic scriptures, such as the desire for elevation to higher worlds, the desire for progeny, especially sons, and the desire for material wealth and opulence. So within Shastra, this is there. These material desires give rise to worldly religiosity. The religious principles enunciated in the Vedas, the pursuance of religious principles according to one's birth and body, desires for self-happiness in the form of mukti or liberation, adherence to the path of elevated society, the maintenance of affection for one's family members, performance of fruitive actions, karma, womanly shyness, patience, chastisement from family members and friends, and fear. All of these are self-seeking behaviors and forms of self-indulgence, performed for one's own sense enjoyment and to fulfill one's own desires, and performed for one's personal pleasure and success. Isn't it a fact? Take each one of those examples and apply it in our own lives and see how much we've left the material conceptions behind. There is a difference of heaven and hell between prem and calm, sacrilegious lust. The calm of the gopis is beyond material intelligence. We start from that premise.
Okay, 8, 216, 217. Nijendriya sukha hetu kamera tatparya, Krishna sukha tatparya, gopi bhavarya. Nijendriya sukha vanchana hi, gopikar, Krishna sukha dite kare sangama vihar.
Calm is the desire to give pleasure to one's own senses. The topmost sentiment of the gopis is called prem, and its only intention is to give pleasure to Sri Krishna. These gopis have never have any desire for their own enjoyment. All of their intimate meetings with Sri Krishna are only for the purpose of giving him pleasure. This is the whole dynamic that Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying. Sri Bhaktivinoda Thakur explains that the tendency to perform the topmost service to Sri Krishna, who is himself the very embodiment of pure and complete spiritual knowledge, samvada vigraha, can never be said to be calm or mundane lust. Rather, abandoning Sri Krishna's happiness to pursue other forms of enjoyment is called calm. May one's life be dedicated to Sri Krishna, and may the service performed to him be prema-mayi, or loving service. Then Sri Krishna will be pleased, may be pleased. The Sakis are entirely composed of these selfless desires, which are present within them to an unrestricted extent. And these gopis, who are the embodiment of prem, remain committed to eagerly serve in this manner. So this is the nature of prem. Now we're trying to purify the mundane material conception to help us to understand the height and extraordinary nature of these gopis that we're aspiring to serve under.
8218. Yatte sujata saranambujam Yatte sujata charanamburuham staneshu Bita sanai priyadadimahi karkaseshu Tenatvim atasi tat vyatare nakim sweet Kuru dir Kurupadibir Brahmati dhir Bhavat Ayusham Naha.
This is the last verse of the Gopi Gita. So the gopis have sung their 18 verses now. This is the last one. Srimad Bhagavatam 10:31-19. The gopis, afflicted by feelings of separation from Sri Krishna, lament, "Your divine feet, even softer than a lotus, we place upon our hard breasts, very timidly and very carefully, lest we hurt them. Those same soft feet carry you through the dark forest. Are they feeling any pain, being wounded by pebbles and stones? Simply the thought of this sets our heads spinning, causing us to fall in a swoon. O Sri Krishna, O Shyam Sundar, O Prananath, O possessor of our lives, we live only for your sake. We are yours, we are yours." So this mood the gopis are feeling, any pinch of discomfort to Krishna is going to bring great pain to them. This is the selfless love that's being described here. This is our objective, to desire this selfless love by Guru's mercy, by Krishna's mercy, by in the anugatya of those who possess this selfless love, who are the gopis. Srila Jiva Goswami Pad explains that after this the gopis began crying very loudly. They then became senseless and fell upon the ground. In this way, simply by the mere thought of the slightest pain to their beloved, the gopis fell unconscious, whereupon Sri Krishna appeared amongst them. Thus seeing their Pran Ballabh, their dearmost beloved, Sri Shyam Sundara, whose beauty defeats that of millions upon millions of cupids, the Braj Gopis again took possession of their life heirs, which returned to their bodies. Altogether they stood up, and with loving glances from their blossoming eyes, they looked towards him in a mood of great happiness. So we see they went to the very depths of separation, distracted despair, we can say. Of course, in the spiritual conception, it's not the same despairing mood as it would be in the material. Their hearts were overflowing with prema at this point. And Krishna returns to them. And then he says, "Na paryeham niravadya," I cannot repay you. And just by saying this, the gopis feel completely reassured and satisfied.
Okay. 8, 219 to 222. Se gopi bhavamrite yar lobhaye veda dharma lokatyaji se krishna ke bhajaye raganugamaage tare bhaje e jana she jana pai vraje vrajendra nandana vraj loke rakon bhavalana ye bhaje bhava yogya deha pana krishna pai vraje tahate drishtanta upanishad sutigana raga marge bhaji paila vrajendra nandana.
One who has developed greed to attain the gopis' nectarian prem completely abandons the regulative principles of Vedic life, such as the Varnashram system, as well as various materialistic goals, such as attaining residence in the heavenly planets. Rather, the devotee completely surrenders unto Sri Krishna and performs exclusive bhajan to him. Those devotees who are inclined towards the path of Raganuga Bhakti, or spontaneous devotional service, adopt the sentiment of anugatya, or remaining under guidance of superiors. They perform service to Sri Krishna, and in the holy abode of Sri Vrindavan, they attain Sri Brajendranandan Sri Krishna. Whoever accepts one of the moods of the various eternal associates of Braj Mandal and performs bhajan following their moods of service to Sri Krishna after receiving an appropriate spiritual body, Siddhadeha, achieves the service of Sri Krishna in Braj. The Upanishads and the Shrutis serve as testimony to those who achieved the service of Sri Brajendranandan by doing bhajan in the mood of Rag Marg. Commentary of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur says that the 64 limbs of bhakti are especially pertinent in Vaidhi Bhakti. By performing these limbs of devotion with pure faith or shraddha, one receives the qualification to enter bhakti. Sometimes, however, after appreciating the loving service combined with the natural anurag of deep attraction that the residents of Braj feel towards Sri Krishna, a greed may awaken in their hearts for some extremely fortunate. A greed may awaken in the hearts of some extremely fortunate persons to also achieve the same loving service towards Sri Krishna that the residents of Braj have, and they will become fully dedicated to attaining that desire. Rupa Goswami is there. Tishtem Braje Tanuragi Janugami. He's saying like this in the 8th verse of Upadeshamrita. This is the path of Raganuga Bhakti. Greed to attain the nectarian moods of the Brajagopis bestows the qualification to enter the path of Raganuga Bhakti. After entering the path of spontaneous devotion, Rag Marg, and then performing this bhajan, attachment for the path of Vedic principles, such as following the Varnashram, is automatically and easily dispelled. Within the realm of Braj are Sri Krishna's servants, Raktak and Patrak, his friends Sridham and Subal, and his parents Nanda and Yashoda. They naturally serve him according to their particular moods. Although one may have great enthusiasm to perform this Brajaras Bhajan, devotional service in the mellow of Braj, still one will have a special greed for a particular ras. And it is in accordance with that particular greed that one will receive a completely spiritual body that is also compatible to one's mood. In this way, at the time of attaining perfection, one achieves Sri Krishna. The Upanishads and the Shrutis give evidence of this. The Shrutis have expounded that one cannot attain the qualification to perform bhajan of Brajendranandan, Sri Krishna in Braj, without being under the guidance of the Brajagopis. In this consideration, the Shrutis too accepted the supervision of the Brajagopis, and by following the path of Rag Bhakti in their spiritual form, Brajendranandan, Sri Krishna. So the Shrutis themselves are following in the Anugatya of the Brajadevis. Sri Bhaktivinoda Thakur says that one should take shelter of the lotus feet of the Brajarasik Vaishnavas, who are expert in tasting the ras of Braj. Accepting both initiation, diksha, and instructions, shiksha, from such personalities, one should reside in Vrindavan under their guidance and perform bhajan according to the principles of Raganuga Bhakti. Additionally, in one's bhajan, one should follow the guidance of a specific, eternally perfected associate of Sri Krishna. Thus, one should perform Manasi Seva, service performed in the mind, more precisely by serving internally with one's eternally perfect spiritual body, Siddhadeha. One should thus follow the associates of Sri Krishna, such as Sri Radha, Lalita, Vishaka, and Sri Rupa Manjari. One should also serve as a sadhak by one's physical body, following the example set by the devotees, such as Rupa, Sri Sanatan, and the other residents of Braj. So we have the verse, Seva Sadak Rupena, Siddha Rupena Tatrahi, describing exactly what's being said here. It is only in the Lord's absolutely perfected eternal associates, Nitya Siddha Parikas, that Rag Atmika Bhakti is found. This pure devotion is always present within their hearts, always present. Wholly perfect, absorption in one's desired object is called rag. Those persons in whom this rag naturally resides are called ragatmika devotees. Srila Rupa Goswami has explained all this.
Okay. Ishte swarasiki raga paramavishtata bhavet tanmayi ya bhavet bhakti satra ragatmikodita.
Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 1.2.272. Rag is the unquenchable loving thirst for the object of one's affection, which gives rise to spontaneous and intense absorption in that object. Ragamayi Bhakti is the performance of seva, such as stringing garlands, with such intense rag.
Vrajantim abvikatayatam vrajavasi janadishu ragatmikam anusrita yasa ragani uchate raganugochate.
Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 1.2 again, 270. Devotional service imbued with spontaneous profound love and attachment, Ragatmika Bhakti, is vividly expressed and manifested by the eternal residents of Vrindavan. Devotional service that follows their devotional mood is called Raganuga Bhakti, or devotional service following in the wake of the Ragatmika associates of Sri Radha and Krishna of Braj. We are being described as being Rag Anugas. We are following in the wake of the Rag Atmikas. The Atma is soaked in Rag. These are the Rag Atmikas. We are Rag Anugas. We are also Rupa Nugas. All of these verses are from Rupa Goswami. The following evidence shows that the personified Vedas performed bhajan in Rag Marg.
8-23. Nivritamarun manokshadruda yoga yujo hridiyan munaya upasate tad arayopi yayu smarana striya uragendra bhoga bhuja danda vishakta diyo vayam apite samaha samadrisho gri saroja sudaha.
This is Srimad Bhagavatam 10.87.23. The personified Vedas are praying, O Lord, greatly learned sages and yogis, having conquered the life airs, mind and senses by strictly practicing the mystical yoga system and worshipping the impersonal Brahman effulgence, have ultimately achieved the position of nirvana or liberation. But even your enemies have attained that position simply by thinking of you in enmity and always desiring your ruination. Sri Radhika and your other eternal beloveds place your nectar-filled lotus feet on their firm breasts, being attracted and bound by the beauty of your supremely soft, rounded, elongated, and nicely decorated arms, which are like the king of serpents. We have also tasted the nectar of your lotus feet in exactly the same way as have your eternal beloveds, the gopis, by following in their footsteps. So this is, I think, is spoken by the queens, the Mahishis of Dwarka. They're wanting to actually follow because they've heard about the gopis praying. So these topics are very beautiful. They are confidential. If we can just patiently hear these topics, just simply give oral reception to these topics, that is enough to begin with. And by themselves, these topics will begin to manifest in our consciousnesses to the degree that our consciousnesses become purified. To that degree, we will comprehend these topics more and more. So it depends on our effort. This relationship with Sri Radha and Krishna and Guru, it's like the two fingers binding Krishna. They were too short, this Chesta and Kripa. So simply by hearing these topics, making an effort to just be patiently hearing, then these topics gradually will start to take root in the heart. So tomorrow we'll continue with my Gurudev's commentary on this verse on page 197. Jai Raya Ramananda samvada ki
Jai.
jai. Gaur Premanande. Hari Hari Bol. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gaura Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gaura Hari Bol, Gau Premanande, Hari Bol, Vanchakalpa Turubhyascha, Kripa Sindhuvevacha, Patitanam Pavanebhyo, Vaishnavebhyo, Namo Namah. I'll give darshan for Facebook here. So there is darshan for Facebook of Radha Madan Mohan. Jai Radha Madan Mohan ki Jai.